It's Wednesday night, and that means it's time for the Lamar Thomas Show, featuring the greatest receiver in the history of college football. Just ask them, Lamar Thomas.
I was born in Ocala, Florida. I moved to Gainesville to go to high school. Been recruited probably since the 9th grade, illegally, I might add, by the University of Florida. I still can remember Coach Solinger, Don Solinger, coming out to our practice one day. Here it is, this guy comes out in the University of Miami jacket, and I said, I can't believe that's Miami out here. And, you know, I wanted to go up and say, hey, I'm Lamar Thomas. And actually, I did walk up to him and I said, hey, Coach, I'm Lamar Thomas. And he said, I know. And that was the start of my relationship with the University of Miami.
Another good block, and Toretto lays it out.
You come down here, you'll be on TV every weekend, dominating. I thought about it. I said, man, where do I sign? My mom, on Saturday mornings, I would wake up and she'd be holding my hand. I thought she was the weirdest lady in the world. But she was holding my hands and she would be rubbing them and saying, one day these hands are gonna make you a lot of money. She was smart.
So now, here he is, the great one, along with co-host Gary Ferman of CaneSport.com, Lamar Thomas.
Good evening, LT.
What's up, Gary? I as you see, I couldn't get enough of the military green. Shout out to all the military. Thank you for what you do for us. Thank you for your service. But yeah, I got my shirt on. I got my gear. I'm still feeling that great win against Stanford. I left the stadium feeling pretty good. It was a better feeling than I left the week before when we played Louisville. So
Louisville.
I'm okay with it.
Well, let's start out. Let's welcome everybody to the Lamar Thomas Show on a Wednesday night. We thank everybody for tuning in to watch tonight's show, which is presented by Caneswear. Tonight, Lamar is not in the store, but you could see the Caneswear background behind both of us. Get a little bit of a feel for the show. We'll talk to you a little bit more about Caneswear later in the show, but they are unquestionably the headquarters for all your Miami Hurricanes merchandise needs. You could shop them live at their store at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, or 24/7, 365 at caneswear.com. And just a massive selection. And, like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about Caneswear later in the show. But LT, we got to start with the game this past week against Stanford. Now, interesting choice of words a minute ago. Okay. You called it a great game, and you could, anybody who wanted to make an argument that it was a great game could make that argument. You beat somebody by 35 points, and that's a significant victory in college football. But I'm not sure how many people walked out of Hard Rock Stadium feeling like they had witnessed a great game because of the way the first half went.
Right.
Miami losing almost the entire first half and scoring just before the half to tie it at 7-7. So leaving Hard Rock Stadium, I'm not sure how many fans felt like they had seen a great performance. Even the second half was ridiculously convincing.
Right.
Miami totally overwhelmed them. The other thing I'm going to point out is that the pollsters weren't impressed either. Miami got passed in the polls despite that victory by Vanderbilt, now number 10 in the country. And the real poll that matters starts, I believe, next week when the Football Playoff Committee starts putting out their rankings, LT, and I would think that it's game on at this point for Miami. They have got to get back to playing the football that they were playing at the beginning of the year. They seem to have fallen into a little bit of a rut here in the middle of the season. They got to get it back at SMU on Saturday.
Well, the reason why I say at this point, Gary, because of the Louisville loss, any win is a great win, okay? And that's what I was saying. We won the ball game, and yes, you're right. The first half was I'm looking for a word because Michael Irvin couldn't even, he said, I don't know what to say. And I've never seen that guy at a loss for words. And we both were standing there saying, what is going on out there? Are we going to see 80 screen plays and 80 try to run up the middle and Stanford stopped them? I mean, you got to give Stanford the little credit there. They came out, they played that first half like they came to win the ball game. But the University of Miami went in at halftime and was able to take over and pretty much, I want to say, wear them down with the better players and the better, more girth. I mean, it became a bloodbath in the second half. But that first half, Stanford came out and they did what they played a hell of a game. I mean, they stopped us a couple of times. They themselves put together a great drive in the beginning. They came out and they played like they were trying to upset them. But again, we wore them down and were able to defeat Stanford.
So, I've been around football my whole life. I could answer this question probably, but I'd rather hear it from you.
All right.
When you watch a football game, okay, and you have two halves that are so distinctly different. Like, how does that happen, Lamar? How is the first half so mediocre, and then Stanford was totally helpless in the second half. The defense totally suffocated them, and the Miami offense just got it rolling, mostly in the run game, and just literally physically pummeled them. Why didn't that work in the first half?
Again, when you got a team that is like Louisville, I can say they're coming into your place to pull the upset. They're going to give you everything they can in the beginning of the game. And until you actually punch them in the mouth and they feel it, they're going to keep bringing it. And that's what they were able to do. I mean, we stuttered the whole first half offensively. We gave up a touchdown drive in the beginning, but we were able to kind of settle down, but they still were getting yards. So they were hanging around. And actually, I wouldn't say outplaying us, but they were in the game. And second half, I'm pretty sure there were some choice words that my mom said, don't use those words anymore. And I've been Gary, have you noticed I've gotten better, man? I've gotten better.
You have.
So I'm pretty sure there were some choice words in that locker room, and guys got their crap together and came out and did what they were supposed to do. But you got to give these teams, these teams are going to play their best when their backs are against the wall, and you have to settle down and settle in as a defensive coach and an offensive coach, because once you see what they're doing, a lot of teams do different things in games like this. They're doing stuff they haven't done that you're scouting something else the whole time, and all of a sudden they're doing something completely different. So it takes you a little while to figure it out. As long as you don't go crazy and give the game away and you stay around, then you let your athletes, once you're able to sit down and teach, because it's teaching, man. Sometimes when they're bringing some new stuff out there that you haven't seen or you haven't gone over with your guys, you have to teach them what the right thing to do and how to line up.
So you think Mario busted something up in there to have to?
I think something was busted. I went in there. It looked a little.
Did you see any holes in the walls anywhere or anything?
I mean, I was thinking, I hope no fines from the Dolphins, because the Dolphins like their money. Dolphin Stadium, they like their money. So I was like, man, I hope there ain't no fines coming around here. But I'm pretty sure some things were said at halftime to get those guys say, hey, man, now we've seen what the best they have. Let's go out and dominate. Okay. Let's go out and do what we're supposed to do and kick their behinds, because that's what it looked like in the second half. I mean, it was a total butt kicking in the second half. It really was.
Yeah. Well, whatever might have been said would
Mhm.
certainly have been appropriate, Lamar. I mean, you look at the way this team played early in the season, and
Yeah.
they were impressing everybody. People all over the country are saying Miami has the most
Mhm.
complete team in
Mhm.
America. We kept calling it rat poison, thanks to Nick Saban.
Yep.
But something changed in the
Mm.
fourth quarter up at Tallahassee,
Mhm.
and they got outgained
Mhm.
177-15. I mean, that's
Mhm.
insane. Okay, in the fourth quarter in Tallahassee, and got outscored 19-0 by a team that then went to Stanford and got beat by what was supposed to be the worst team in the ACC. That then is coming into Hard Rock, obviously, all fired up that they beat
Mhm.
Florida State, thinking that they can compete with Miami because they watched film all week of Florida State beating the crap out of Miami. I mean, if I were their coaches, I would have only shown them the fourth quarter because
Mm.
it proved that they could be competitive against Miami. And in the first half, they were. But you take
Right.
that fourth quarter at
Mhm.
Florida State, you take the four
Mhm.
quarters against Louisville, and then
Mhm.
the first two quarters of this game past Saturday against Stanford. That's 7 straight quarters of relatively, I'll be kind to say, mediocre football
Mhm.
from the team that had been branded the most complete team in the country. So, like, it's bizarre, Lamar. Like, you've gone through so many football seasons in your life, you understand how long they can be,
Mhm.
more philosophically than actual physical length, because they're
Right.
really only
Right.
4
Right.
months. Really, it's 4
Right.
months, but those 4 months seem like 40 months at times. And teams can take on different lives over the course of a season. Explain that to us. Well, we lost Lamar. He'll be right back here. He hit the
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you hit
Let's
the
see.
wrong button. You hit the wrong button. I got you rattled with
I
that
think.
question, huh?
All right. Let's see. Let me
But
get
did you
myself
hear
back
did
in
you hear my
here.
question? My question was, explain to us how teams can take on different lives over the course of a season. And that's kind of what's happened to Miami right now. The team that we saw at the beginning of the year that everybody was saying was the most complete team in college football was not that for 7 quarters. And hopefully he'll be back here in a second. He's hitting some crazy button on his computer. But yeah, I mean, this is a very you back, all right? So yeah, so I mean, this is a very appropriate question. You could still hear me, right?
Again.
Okay, all right. So how's that happen? How these teams take on all these different personalities and lives as the season goes along?
Well, I mean, Gary, we talked about, and everybody's talked about them being a complete team, but at the same time, we were putting 3 quarters together. You think about it. It
And
was three
ignoring it
quarters.
because we were winning.
Yes, and because we were winning, we were ignoring it. But Florida State comes out. They're desperate. They're basically going sandlot football. They got a guy that's out there running around. He's doing things. And you say, why can't Stanford do that? Well, they don't have that guy that can run around like that. But I think the way it looks to me as our defensive coach, they were doing some different things, and he kind of wanted to settle in and see exactly what they were doing. And
Mhm.
once he figured it out, he was able to go in at halftime, draw up some things, and pretty much put them to bed. And offensively, we kind of saw what they were doing. And, they had stopped us a couple of times with, I told you before, I think they've been running a bear defense. They got a man over the center and 2 guys over the guards, and they're pretty much blowing up the center. And so it's stopping the 8 gap. So you can't really run a lot of stuff where you have the guards pulling because the center is getting pushed back into them. So I think our coordinator sees that and understands that. So, but what happened after that, coming out the second half, we were able to pretty much. Now the center's playing well. I mean, those guys are worn down. That humidity might have taken effect. Maybe they got hit with some beers walking in the locker room. I mean, who knows? But they were a different team when they came out the second half, and Miami showed that they were a different team the second half also. So it's been the tale of 3 quarters. It's been the tale of 2 quarters. And at some point, we're going to have to put together 4 quarters, especially against a really good team, to win a ball game.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, you can't keep getting away with this, but he definitely Corey Heatherman definitely found something, because the thing that looked very noticeable to me was, like, they appeared as if their effort level was amped up ×4 in the second half compared to the first half. I don't know if you saw it that way. I mean, I'm wondering, like, were they really this lackadaisical in the first half that it looks so markedly different here in the second half? Or does it look different because they found the answer schematically and that made it look that way?
Well, I mean, schematically, maybe a little, but I think better team took over. Okay, you got better players. And yeah, you can go schematically, but better players can win you ball games if they're put in the situation. You look at Malachi Tony. I mean, the punt return set up big play. Those are huge plays in the game. So there's a better athlete that's putting us in great field position. You got Tony Johnson catching passes out there. You got these guys making plays. You got the touchdown by Daniels, which was a great catch, by the way. Those are better athletes, that. And then Mark Fletcher got going. I mean, you saw Jordan Lyle in there running. The difference between Jordan Lyle, I saw Jordan Lyle and Mark Fletcher. Mark Fletcher gets through the hole and looks to punish you. Okay, there was maybe 2 instances where I thought he could have maybe tried to outrun people, but he kind of turned back to him to punish him like a bull in bull in the china shop, right? Yeah. But Jordan Lyle had the same run, but instead of turning to those guys to run them over, he out sprints them down the sideline. 2 different backs. So again, I just think the better athletes we had took over in the second half, and some schematically by the coordinators understanding and seeing what they were doing and coming out with a different game plan in the second half, or maybe the same game plan. They just warmed down.
All right, I'm gonna get a little controversial here.
Uh-oh.
Nothing too crazy, but
okay.
I've been thinking about this. Okay,
right.
And I am the leader of the pack of the Mark Fletcher fan club. Okay, right. Amazing kid, amazing family. His dad passed, but I mean, his mom is the nicest lady that you'll ever meet in your life, and you could see why Mark is the kind of kid that he is. Because of his mom. You could tell what kind of home he grew up. I mean, he is really a phenomenal kid. He's playing great. I mean, he had 23 carries the other night, 108 yards.
Okay.
LT, I think he's playing too much. I think he's getting too many carries. And I think that for this offense to reach its full potential, which it is going to need to do here pretty quickly. The play time is about over. They can't afford to lose another game. Right now they're on the bottom looking up in the ACC standings. They need some things to break. They need to keep winning. And then, of course, there's playoff seedings and things like that. They need to take this thing to another level. Okay, they need to start scoring in the 30s every single week, and they haven't been doing that. And I watched this Jordan Lyle kid, and he started game 1 against Notre Dame before he got hurt.
Right.
And this kid, I've seen him so much on the practice field and stuff, and this kid is a freaking hell of a running back. Okay, way too good of a running back to only get 4 carries. Okay, and to me, if you take his 4 and Fletcher's 23, that's 27 carries. I mean, I'd rather see 14 and 14. I really would. There's no reason to beat up Mark Fletcher, and Jordan Lyle brings way too much to the table, and you got to get him more at bats every single game, so that you can bring more of a big play scenario, hopefully, into your offensive running game. That they're not getting a lot of big plays. Like, they're pounding people and pounding and pounding and pounding. You see Mario going up the sideline. They're doing all that, okay? But they're not getting the 80-yard runs. They're not getting the home run ball, and they're going station to station. And when they're not succeeding, LT, they're getting into third and fourth downs, and you're not converting every one of those. So that's what I see. I when I look at the running game, I would like to see Jordan Lyle get back to being on an equal plateau with Mark Fletcher, and share that load more for the potential for more explosive type of runs.
Well, I tell you this, Gary, I'm with you, but I'm going to add something else in there. I want to see 14, 14, 14 like it was in the beginning, with Marty, Lyle and Fletcher. Because I think, to me personally, when Fletcher is fresh, he's running entirely different. With those 14 carries he got early in the year, they meant something. Okay, right? That's the way I looked at it. Those other guys did their thing, and it was I think it was 3 different backs that you had to know what they were doing, because each one of them brought something different to the game, right?
Yeah. I
like that. I thought that was a perfect combination, but hey, we aren't the coordinator. I get it, but
Marty Brown, though, I mean, if Jordan Lyle didn't get hurt, Marty Brown wouldn't have been getting anywhere near the amount of playing time that he got. He got in there a little bit the other night. He got 5 carries the other night.
See,
but
24. What do you have? 20. So what did
Fletcher had 23, he averaged 4.6 yards a carry. Jordan Lyle had 4, he averaged 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And Marty Brown had 5 and averaged 1.8 a carry.
I still say split it up, try to get it as much as possible, where 10 to 12 carries for Fletch. Again, because it's a long season. You get that you get that guy later in the season where he's still fresh and he's healthy. Those 12, 13, 14 plays, he's giving you 110%. That is something. People are beat up toward the end of the season, but you keep those carries fresh where, and that's what I was saying in the beginning of the season. I really liked the fact that he wasn't running the ball that much.
Yes, I agree totally. And he has an injury history in his past. And the last thing you want to do is be starting to lose Mark Fletcher here down the stretch. And Jordan Lyle, before you hurt, I mean, if you talk to people in the program about Jordan Lyle, they're going to start mentioning Clinton Portis, those kind of players. And that's how much they believe in Jordan Lyle. And he's going through this entire season now. We're going to what, week 8? We're going to week 8. And he has not impacted this season at all. I mean, quite honestly. I mean, now he was hurt for a few weeks, no argument. But he's been back healthy for a few weeks, and he's not impacting the team, the game, really at all. I mean, I know he had a touchdown the other day, but in the big picture, he's really not impacting. And the thing that's amazing to me, if I had said to somebody in August that JoJo Trader, Elijah Lofton, and Jordan Lyle going into week 8 will not have impacted this season basically one bit, somebody would have had me institutionalized.
Hey, Gary, let me ask you a question. Do you see me on the screen? Because I feel invisible like those guys. Do you see me?
I see you.
Okay, you see me. All right. Okay. No, I want to make, because I don't see myself, so I'm just making sure that
you're there.
It says I'm backstage, so I'm
no, you're not backstage.
Okay. All right.
You're with us.
I felt like just what you just said about those, I felt invisible just like those guys, because they've been invisible. There's no way you would have told me that Lofton wasn't getting the ball, as much as they talked about Lofton being a special type of player, right? That can line up in the backfield, line up, split out, block, do all those things, only getting the ball not even a handful of times, a couple fingers full of times.
2 receptions, 7 yards last week.
You talk about the receivers. There's no way I would have thought coming into the season, not after coming out last season, I thought this was going to be his year to shine, right?
Yeah. Now he screwed up. No argument.
Well, yes, he had his, he's hopefully he's getting back in the good graces of those that he needs to be in, and he'll be able to get out there and show his stuff against guys that probably left because of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going to be watching Romello Brinson running up and down all over the place for SMU on Saturday. Romello Brinson.
What was number 20? What was the back that returned kicks?
Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson.
He's hurt now.
He's okay. Well,
I don't know how bad. I haven't really, but he's hurt. I don't know if he's going to play.
Sorry to hear that, but
yeah,
but yeah, we're going to be watching ourselves run up and down the field. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Somebody's going to sidle up next to JoJo and say, "Hey, JoJo, you watch Romello, man. He's not sitting on the bench here. This is Miami West."
That is the problem with college football today. As I watch the games, I watched after the games, and I see coaches talking to players.
Yes.
And in my mind, I'm saying they are getting close to these guys. Say, "Hey, man, you played well, bro. Let's keep in touch."
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's keep in touch.
Yeah. But so like the fans are all over Shannon Dawson because they think all the runs are going up the A and B gap. That's Mark Fletcher's cup of tea.
Right.
He can go outside too, but his game is physical. Boom, right? Take the ball and go and power your way up the middle of the field. That's the meat of his game. But to me, as you go forward in the season and the degree of difficulty gets tougher with the level of competition, I don't know if I'm right, but I think they're going to need a lot more on offense. And that's going to involve more explosive guys like the Jordan Lyles of the world. And it's going to mean getting more diversity into what they're doing so defenses can't hone in.
I'm glad you brought that up, Gary, because as I sit here and I'm watching this season go on, I'm thinking, man, Malachi Tony has had a great year. Okay. Why not? If I'm a defensive coordinator, let's take him away. Let's make sure he can't beat us. Okay. Let's do what we saw Louisville do, or try to do that and stop them running up the A gap. Okay. Now, where does Carson Beck go if we take Malachi Tony away? Now, Tony Johnson just came about. You had CJ Daniels do his thing. You even saw Joshua Moore get in the game. These are some guys that are going to have to definitely step up, because as the defenses get better, the coaches get better, they're going to say, well, we can't let this guy beat us. We can't let this freshman. He's dynamic. He is their most explosive player. Let's take him away. And it becomes a chess match. Do you continuously try to force in the ball, or do you let other guys get in the mix and open it up for him? And they say, okay, wait, they're killing us over here, so let's even it off, and now it opens them back up. Because if you continuously try to force in the ball on certain plays, they're going to get smart, and they're going to start comboing. They're going to start doing all kind of elaborate stuff to take him away. I mean, I guarantee if you ask every defense that's played against Ohio State, what are they doing? They're trying to take that Jeremiah Smith guy and say, we're going to make sure, or we're going to try to make sure he doesn't beat us. And he still does, but they're trying their best to double, triple, whatever they got to do and making somebody else beat them. And that's what I think they're going to try to do to us eventually. They're going to say, let's take away Malachi. Let's stop the running up the middle. And you know what? We know they're going to throw screens, because we throw a lot of screens. And,
probably too many.
Hey, we're not the OC.
No, but I'll say it's probably too many. I like the OC. I think there's times where he gets a little too affected by, let's talk about Carson Beck's game against Louisville. 4 or 5 interceptions. Like you've been an offensive coach. I mean, that'll play with your head, man.
Yes.
Like your quarterback that you're putting it all on just threw 4, could have been 5 interceptions. One of them got nullified by a penalty.
Right.
And you lost the damn game to Louisville, and now you're behind the 8 ball in the ACC. That might have destroyed your season. If you let it, if you have you don't have any more room for error here, you can't screw up again. So in fairness to Shannon Dawson, that will mess with your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, and you're going into the next game and you're saying, I got to get this thing reestablished. I can't have this guy turning the ball over.
Right.
And, I thought he got a little bit too conservative. A few too many bubble screens, a few too many runs up the A and B gap. That got the fans all up in a tizzy. And then I don't know if you saw his press conference Monday. It was pretty wild. It's clearly under his skin a little bit. And he would say, what the hell's everybody talking about? We ran for 200 damn yards. Shut the hell up. But the degree of difficulty is going to go up when you get to the better teams at the end of the year. The Alabamas of the world, the Ohio States of the world, Oregon, Ole Miss. These teams are going to have better personnel at the line of scrimmage than Stanford did. And I don't know, maybe you can just flick a switch and suddenly have it. You would know again on that one better than me, Lamar. But I want to see them get back to playing the way they played against Notre Dame. They were so impressive against Notre Dame.
Yeah, as I go back and I watch that game, I completely agree with you, Gary. They were different. I mean, it wasn't as predictable. Okay. I think it's become, hey, we know we have a great offensive line. We are going to run it down your throats. And when we're not running it down your throats, we're going to throw screens out, RPOs out to the flat and do things like that to make sure our quarterback feels comfortable with throws. Now, I think I talked to you about this earlier. I felt like Carson made some bad reads on some of those RPOs early in the game. And I think that might have been, also him not wanting to throw an interception.
Yes.
Because they could play with his mind also.
Clean game this week. Yes.
A clean game. But there were a couple of RPOs I thought that if he would have thrown them out there, it would have been some pretty good. They had the perfect blocking for it. They got the guys to do exactly what they wanted to do, but he had already decided to give the ball off. So, and again, I think his coordinator also, because you got to protect your guy now. You got to protect. You can't have him going out there being a mental midget after throwing 5 interceptions. You're not gonna come out gunslinging. I don't know. We're not that type of party where all of a sudden the guy comes out gunslinging. So, hey, I just look at it like this, and I see people on here saying about the discipline of all the penalties. We still got to continue to get better at the pre-snap penalties. We got to continue to get better, and because it's in a great game that could screw us. You know what I mean? Against a great team that could screw us. You have to play pretty much perfect ball against really, really good competition.
Yeah.
Against Stanford,
you can get away with a lot. Yeah, and I just think going into week 8 now, it's time. It's time to get this thing back on the rails the way it needs to be.
Yep.
This team is built for success. I mean, you got a really good defense, and you got potentially a really good offense. You got a veteran quarterback. You got a good offensive line. I mean, this team is built to get it done this year. To me, you got to win the ACC. But now you're behind the 8 ball, just trying to get to Charlotte. But you certainly got to make the playoff.
I gotta be honest with you, Gary. Who won the national championship last year?
Ohio State with 2 losses.
What did they play in their conference championship?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, I don't think so.
Oh no, you can obviously you can do it, but
because here's the deal. Here's what I look at. You play in the conference championship. That's hits on all those guys. Again, that's hits on Mark Fletcher. That's hits. But you put yourself in the playoffs. You squeak by, and you end up you make the playoffs without going to the ACC championship. I mean, hey, I know we want to go to the ACC championship, but what is the goal in this? Is it to win an ACC championship, or is it to win a national championship?
It's a good
You know,
question.
that's so.
Miami's never won the ACC.
I get that, but what's the bigger prize? To me, I'm looking at if I'm saying I'm setting my sights on the national championship. They got to win out, right? You got to win out. If I'm them, I'm setting my sights on the big picture, national championship. ACC championship, that's nice. You go in there, you lose. Now you're feeling bad about yourself, and you beat up, right?
But
Okay, you win. You might lose some players. I don't know. Now
I'm going to give you a but.
All right, I hear the but.
I'm going to give you a big but right here. If you don't win the conference and you don't go to Charlotte and win in Charlotte, you're not getting the first round bye.
I get that.
So you're going to take those hits that you're talking about anyway. And like, what do they do? Like, one team of everybody in college football is going to be a winner at the end of the year. That's it. One. And yes, of course you want to be that one team, but
right.
Like, if you don't win the conference, you're never winning anything. Like, how often are you going to win the national title? Like,
you know, Gary, maybe I'm a little biased because my rings don't say anything about a freaking conference championship. Okay. They say national champion, right? So maybe I'm old school and I'm thinking the bigger picture. I ain't thinking this ring
that's
right
an
here.
uppercut, Lamar.
Let me see, did this say anything about a damn conference? Hell no. This say national champion right here. 12-0. The other one I got say 11-1, national champion. So I guess I'm the wrong person to ask on this, but I love your points though. You made some valid points, and I'm sure all of us want to go. You know, our fans want to go to Charlotte and be in the cold weather and get a chance to say for the FSU fans say we haven't made it there, we haven't won it, and all that other crap. But I'm looking at the bigger picture, man. I want to go to that natty. Get in that playoff and go to the natty.
You want to play BYU and Hard Rock as opposed to Georgia Tech and Charlotte.
Damn right, because King punishing people. King is punishing people right now.
All right, let's talk about this subject because this has been on everybody's minds.
All
okay,
right.
James Brockemeyer, the center. Okay, now everyone's been very happy with him all through the year.
Yeah.
And like, he got on that fourth down play, he got blown up. No argument. I believe they put in a guy just for that situation. Right. The guy wasn't even on the depth. He wasn't even on the too deep.
Right.
Okay. They took their strongest defensive tackle and they said, blow up that MFer. Okay. That's your job. Okay. And he did, man. He blew him up. Brockmeyer wasn't ready for it. And he blew him into the backfield. And, Mark Fletcher got tackled. And the fourth down didn't get converted. It was the only possession in the second half that Miami didn't score on.
Right.
But that one play was so ugly, Lamar. And now the entire fan base is on Brockmeyer.
Well, I tell you this. I went back and I watched it, Gary. There were more than one time. And our backs are jump cutting as soon as they catch the ball. As soon as they get the ball, because he's getting pushed back. And it looked like Stanford. That was their whole thing. We're just going to take the guy and try to drive this center back to try to disrupt your run game. And remember, I just said that you can't pull any guards. You can't do anything with the center being pushed back. So they're getting up under him and they're driving him back. Now, on the touchdown run, the Mark Fletcher, he jump cut and was able to hit the hole because he saw it happening. Guy got drove back again. So, but we're going to have to try to figure out how do we help him? Because I'm pretty sure every team is going to do that now. I'm pretty sure every team is going to try to line up in the bare front with a guy over the center, a guy over the two guards, and really try to push back that center's wig right when he snaps the ball. And let's see what happens. Hey, man, this game becomes a copycat game when you see somebody else having success.
Right, let me see if I can get this working real quick here. Let's see. All right, LT.
All right.
This is James Brockemeyer's Pro Football Focus grades. Okay. And if you look down his grades in the column to the left of pass, that's his run block grades. Okay. Now, he's in this mid 60s consistently the whole season for the most part. Has struggled a little bit against Florida. That's average. Okay. Those aren't nightmarish grading numbers. You see, you can see how much better he is as a pass blocker, though, than a run blocker. He's pretty damn good as a pass blocker. But this was not, until that play, this was not a crisis situation. And I'm not sure, I don't think it still is, but people are very much, on this guy now. And, there's a focus on him that wasn't there before. And it's going to be there for opponents too, because they're going to watch that play.
Correct.
And they're going to see what that defensive tackle for Stanford was able to do to him and blow him up. And that's going to mean that, other teams are going to do the same thing. So interesting little subplot going on here's
the question I have for you. Does he have the lowest grade on that line? Because here's the thing. I think we have the third highest rated line in college football, fourth rated run game rating in college football. Is he the one that has the lowest grade? Because
when it comes to run blocking, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there you go. I mean, that's it. I mean, they're going to have to figure out how they can help him. I mean, later on in the show, I think we're having Kelvin Harris on, and he was not that good of a run blocker. He wasn't good of anything. So I think that's why we went to punt formation, just to make sure he didn't give up a sack. So I don't know what they're going to be able to do to try to help him out, because I'm pretty sure, Gary, every team is going to try that from now on, try to get up under him and see, and see if they can disrupt the run game with him being out of it. You know what I mean? If he push him back again, only place you can go is you can't come downhill if he's being pushed back.
Yeah, well, if the byproduct of it all is less runs up the A and B gaps, because of it, I know all the fans are going to be happy. We'll see how that plays out. But we're going to be joined here in a second by a guy that was pretty damn solid, both run blocking and pass blocking, and he went in the Ring of Honor. So we're going to talk to him a little bit. But first, let's take a look. Let's visit our friends at CaneSport.
Welcome to CaneSport. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, CaneSport has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. CaneSport, the spot Miami fans shop.
How did we lose you, LT? All right. But anyway, CaneSport, obviously we've been talking about CaneSport all season. Lamar's usually in the store. If you want something with the U logo on it, that's your place to go. They have everything imaginable: t-shirts, hats, polos, jerseys, helmets, flags, magnets, you name it. They have it at CaneSport. They got them in all different sizes for men, women, kids, babies. They even have gear at CaneSport for your pet. And so get yourself over to CaneSport. They're at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, 15 minutes north of Hard Rock Stadium. So next week, if you're going to the stadium for the Syracuse game, you could pop on over to CaneSport on your way over and pick up some new stuff. And if you like that camo look, I'm sure they still got some left. They had a lot of it, Lamar. I'm pretty sure they got some left over there.
Gary, I got to tell you, I don't know if I was a fan of it. I'm down with the military appreciation, but man,
you're looking so fresh tonight, though.
I mean, I feel fresh, but good Lord. I mean, when I'm looking out there, I had to remind myself, it's Miami. That's Miami.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic, these special jerseys that the equipment companies make. But anyway, so 2655 South University Drive in Davie, or you could shop them 24 hours a day, 365 days a year at CaneSwear.com, 2655 South University Drive in Davie, CaneSwear.com. You see it at the bottom of your screen. It'll stay there. Go check out CaneSwear. You will not be sorry. And now you're not going to be sorry because we are going to be joined by the man himself, Mr. Bryant McKinnie. Congratulations, sir.
What up? Thank you very much.
On that great honor you received the other night. You were like a kid in a toy store out there, mugging for all the fans on the cameras. But welcome to the club, so to speak.
Thank you very much.
Hey man, hey, B. Let me tell you, man. I saw you before the game. You were sweating. I was like, good Lord, you been hanging with Michael Irvin? What's going on, dog? But I was so happy, man, for you guys, man. That is that has to be a great honor. I mean, as you looked up there, what were your thoughts as you were looking up there?
I just remember.
Go ahead.
I remember being like a player, and just looking at the names as a player, being there and just. But I honestly never thought my name would be up there. So I just looked at the guys' names up there like, wow, their name is up there, like, forever. Like, and this is me as a teenager, as a young player, just looking, just admiring the names that are up there to like 20-some years go by and then I'm being announced to be up there. It's like, wow, I can't believe this. I specifically remember just looking around and always just looking at the names. So just to now have mine added, it just felt pretty good. And then to be added with 3 other guys who, were my teammates at the time too, was just definitely a surreal moment.
I mean, you said it, to have your teammates, guys that you played alongside, go in at the same time. I know you weren't thinking of that when you were playing, but I would say just from being around you, y'all wasn't thinking of none of that. Y'all were thinking about domination.
Yeah, we were just thinking about winning and trying to get to a championship.
I'm glad you said that. Championship. Not a conference championship, but a championship.
No, national championship.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, especially, for us,
yes.
My junior year, how we lost to Washington earlier in that, like, second game of the season, and then went on and won the rest, and then had a chance to kind of split it with Florida State if they beat Oklahoma. So for us, it was like a whole different mentality. Like, you can't even afford to lose one game, So the mission became control your own destiny my senior year. So that was the overall goal for everybody, and everybody bought into it. So that was the thing. So, other things came along the way by having a good team and a bunch of people out there, doing their job. And so it came with, like, people going first round and just different things like that. But that was all a collective of everybody's common goal was to win a national championship,
Yes. We've always said the more games you win, the more people are going to watch and the more you're going to be known. So I got a question for you, and I've always wanted to ask you this. I used to bowl a lot, and I was close to getting a 300 game a couple of times. I kind of choked. What was that like, being a guy that had never given up a sack as it continued to go along in your in the college career, and then you got to play Freeney, right? And that was a big match. And was it in your mind saying, I don't want to break my, I want to keep this record, or were you really just thinking about just dominating him?
When it got to that point, because me playing, I was in JUCO for 2 of the years, and then when I got there, I made it through the first season there, not giving up a sack. I never thought about it. The media actually, I feel like I was doing my job. The media made it a thing and started making it like known to everybody, and I'm gonna tell you, it was a game where we were playing Florida State my senior year, and we were up there and we were winning, and the guy, last name was Jackson, he got a good get off on the ball, and we were up. But he got a good get off, and then, like, last minute I was able to just push him. Like, I got like one final push to push it past Dorsey. But their sideline erupted like and I'm looking like, what? Like, what's going on? And then they started pointing at me like, he's getting one today. And then the guy who had been quiet going against me the whole time, he felt like as if like he almost got one. So now it ramped him up. But now I'm like, oh. Don't get comfortable because you have a mini battle inside this whole game going on. And that's when it kind of clicked to me, like, regardless of us winning or dominating as a team, I still have an individual battle that people are now gunning for me to get a sack. So by the time I got to Freeney, it was so much hype because he was
Right.
considered the sack master. I hadn't given
Mm-hmm.
up one. So one of the two had to give. Like, he's either going to get one or he's not. Like, so that week kind of wore me out mentally. But I made sure I was prepared. Mario Cristobal,
Yeah.
he did a good job because he was the GA who kind of stayed with me afterwards, and we would watch film. Even with Jamal Reynolds the year before,
Mhm.
after our team meetings and stuff, where I sit down there afterwards and I'll be like, "What is it? What is he doing? Like, is the offensive line like?" I was really sitting here and trying to figure out, is this guy really this good, or is he like taking advantage of a mistake by the offensive line? Is it a combination of both, or is the O-line late, or what are they doing with their hand? I was watching every little scenario, and then I just had to come up with a game plan of, okay, this is what he likes to do. This is what you cannot allow to happen, and just take advantage. I'm at home too, so I'm like, take advantage of the snap count, getting off
Mhm.
throwing the ball. Like, we're gonna play with the snap count. Like, we're gonna do everything to make it a hard day, a long day from here.
Did you study that? Was he doing the spin move then?
Absolutely was.
So, so
I
what
feel like
was
he introduced it to the league because when he
Yeah,
got to the league, then everybody in Indianapolis was
everybody else.
spinning with him.
What was your whole thing of just being able to sit and be
I had to keep
patient?
him away from my body when he spin.
Okay.
He would be able to spin into people's body, and he would grab a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of their cloth, whether it's their jersey, their pant, to help pull himself through to
Mm-hmm.
continue that spin and continue his direction towards the quarterback. And I had to keep him away so he couldn't be close enough to grab and pull himself through and keep your feet moving too. A lot of guys, when they were pass protecting, when they would get their hands swiped, it's like they would lean forward and their feet would stop. But it's like,
Yes.
keep your feet moving, even though your hand gets slapped, just keep the feet moving, recover with the body, and give yourself time to recover with your hand. So those were like just different things I was saying. If he does get a chance to get my hand, still keep your feet moving. Don't stop your feet. And that was a saying that my JUCO coach always told me. He said, "Move your feet, you can't get beat." So even if your
Mm.
hands get slapped, keep the body presence till you can recover with your hands.
Wow. I mean, that's amazing just to hear you. I mean, young kids need to hear that, man. They need to
Oh
really
yeah,
understand what a guy like yourself who not only did it in college, was able to take it to the next level too, uh,
mm,
was able to put on tape that type of, and that's why your name is up in the Raptors, man. I mean,
right.
you're a big mountain of a man. We always call you Big Mountain, man. You mean you're a huge guy. We got a guy now, the Bell kid. What do you think
Yeah,
of his play so far this season?
I feel like he's been doing pretty good. But I heard y'all talking about who was struggling with run blocking.
The
James
center,
Brockmeyer, the
the
center.
Oh, the
center.
center, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, and it's hard to struggle as center getting pushed back because
he
then
can put.
that's kind of like,
Yes, it blows you up. It
yeah,
blows up your
yeah,
running game. You
it
can't.
does.
I was telling Gary, you can't pull the guards. You can't do anything.
No, because you're going to be in the way if the guard's
You're
trying
gonna
to
be in the
pull, he's
way.
getting pushed back.
Right.
So yeah, I assumed it was the center for some reason when y'all were talking about. I just wanted to make sure. I felt like Bell's doing a pretty good job. He always knows the door's open if he has to have any questions or issues with anybody. If he needs anything corrected, he always can hit me up. He has my number, so I feel like
I
he's
mean,
doing a pretty good job.
you're a big guy, but he's taller than you, right? And
Yeah,
so
he is.
I mean, so the long
He got to be
arms,
6'9". I'm 6'8" and three
yeah,
quarters. He's a
he's
little bit
six. I
taller than
think
me.
he's 6'9". So the
Okay.
whole thing, the length of you guys, your arms. I mean, how does that? You have to keep the right leverage because of the long arms.
Yeah, but see, knowing your body and then
Mhm.
just knowing like you want to reach the person before they reach you, so you have more arm length and leverage than over the person. Like you gotta bend your knees a little bit, but hand placement helps a lot too. The more I got in the league, you learn about where to put your hands. A lot of times makes you look like you're a little stronger than what you are, just because you got to know
Where to put?
body. It's just a lot of things you got to know, like how to move. I know how to move people's body now, and I can probably make me a little stronger than what I really actually am. But I'm using some of your weight against you too.
Mm. Question for you: a guy like Ruma Bain, with his body type. He's not a tall guy. There's those guys with those big lower legs, big
Mhm.
big lower legs, but they're not as tall. How do you defend them? I mean, because you having long arms, if they get up under those arms, you're pretty much done. If they, like you said, they get to you, you're pretty much done.
Right. So you should be able to strike him first, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
by having longer arms. But if he gets into you, with me, I have weight behind me too. So
Yeah.
I do have to use my weight too to kind of absorb some things too and slow it down. So it wasn't going to be easy to just bull into me either. You bull
Right.
into me is I knew how to anchor down. So that was the difference with me too. So I feel like my legs, like Markel is taller than me, but I feel like my legs are bigger than his.
More anchor. All
Yeah.
right. Well, okay. Here's the question for you. I'm loving having you on the show
I'm
because
probably
this is
way more than him. I mean, how much does he weigh? I was like 343. So
how much does Markel weigh? He
I'll have
don't.
to
He's
check.
he's kind of tall and slender now. He's not as. You look so big, look like you had a neck roll on a couple times. I got this question for you. Okay, so in the league, who was the top defensive end that you played against that you just said, dang, he pretty damn good? I mean, I'm sure a lot of, because there's the league, a lot of them are good, but who was the guy, one or two guys you said these guys you got to bring it every play?
Well, I'm gonna say, like when I first got in the league in pass pro, there was a guy named KGB from Green Bay. He was really
Hmm.
good in pass protection, but in run blocking, I could I could have my way. But far as like complete, I feel like Jared Allen, and luckily he came to the Vikings, and so I got a chance to practice against him.
Right.
So when I practiced against him, because he was a different Jared Allen when he was with Kansas City. He was a little heavier, and to me he was more of like a run stopping defensive end. But then he
Hmm.
lost weight and he slimmed down. And he became more of a pass rush,
Pass rusher.
and he knew how to play the run because he knew how to play run first. You know what I'm saying? But then
Right.
him losing the weight made him more of a pass rusher too now because he got quicker and he started learning like different techniques to rush the passer. But luckily, by the time he did all that, he kind of came to Minnesota, and I got a chance to practice against him every day. And we would share technique. He would ask me. He played against if he had to go against like Ogden or
Hmm.
Pace. I was their size, so it's like he's asking me what am I thinking. I'm telling him my ideas. He's telling me what he's looking at, and he's trying to beat me to this point. If not, that's when he's going to make a move. So we kind of shared thoughts with each other on what we're thinking when we go against people to kind of give us kind of the mindset on how we want to approach certain people each week.
Hey, by the way, Markel Bell, he lists at 345 as well.
Oh, so he's my size.
If it's an accurate weight,
Yeah.
you never know.
But he a little longer, man. He look you got that tree stumps. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
hey man, again, this has been a thrill because I feel like a little kid myself asking you these questions because you were able to do it at such a high level and do it well. I just want you to know, as a alumni, man, we're very proud of you,
So thank
and
you.
you're such a great guy too, man. You always you made me feel like I was on that team with you. I mean, and us old fellas, we want to be loved too. But you always
Yeah.
been a great guy to me and all the guys, and we just want to say congratulations, man, and you definitely deserve it. And it's a great honor, man.
Oh, I
You're the guy.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I got one last thing though. I got to ask him, LT.
Go ahead.
You got to solve this AB gap. I don't know what to
They're gonna
call
have to start doing like some cutoff blocks or something, like some zones or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And don't let him be one-on-one. So it's gonna have to be some
Yep.
zone protection where him and the
Yep.
guard are working together, things like that.
That's what I said. They're gonna have to figure it out where they're gonna have to get two guys to bed because I'm sure, and like it's a copycat league. Once somebody does it and they have success, it's gonna be all year.
But they're going for him to help him. They're gonna have to start doing some type of zone because he can't be left one-on-one and getting drove back. So it's like it'll be a situation where he'll put a hand up for the guard to take over, things like that. It has to be zone.
Mm-hmm. There you go, Gary. I mean,
There it is.
it has to happen.
Yeah, and the competition's going to get better. It's going to get better if they keep winning.
Yeah, but once they spot a weakness, they're gonna attack until it's fixed.
Yep.
Told you, it's a copycat league. Everybody gonna come after it doing the same thing. Louisville kind of exposed it, so you know what? Stanford did it, and they had a little success. So I guarantee you, we're gonna see it against SMU too. So and from that point on during the season, everybody's gonna be trying to get one-on-one with him and try to push him back to disrupt any run plays you have going on the A and B gap.
He's gonna be worn out, man.
Well, hopefully some people he can just be, he can be a better match for. Like, what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just everybody every week when I line up against you. Like, I would be pissed.
His grades, we were just
I'm
looking at his
sorry.
grades for the season. They're really not that bad. I mean, it's been they're average, but it's not like he was a disaster. But somebody found something there, and I mean, Stanford put that guy in just to blow him up. He was probably their weight room warrior,
Yeah.
Well, thank you, man.
Just drive forward.
Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for doing this. I know you're a busy man, but we
Oh yeah,
appreciate
no problem.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
Good seeing you, B-Mac.
All right, Bryant.
Congrats again, man, on the Ring of Honor. Bryant McKinnie. Whoa, wait a minute. What did I do here?
Such a great guy, man. Such a nice person too. You're so big to be so nice, man. It scares me. Like every time, hey man, how you doing, Lamar? I'm like, I'm good, man. I feel like I'm a little kid. He's such a big old kid. But I was happy to see him because he deserves it, and so did all those other guys. It was good to see those guys out there. Good to see. I mean, they all deserve it. And it's great to see those guys that were lined up. Coach Johnson was there. He was having a good time at the game.
Jimmy was having a good day. Did you see?
They had a videotape of him rapping
in the parking lot. Yeah.
Gate party. I was able to take a picture with him and as he was walking out, and he just said, "I said, Coach, you look great, man." He said, "Oh, you look great, Lamar." I said, "You look happy." And he said, "I am." So, and I told him, "Thank you again for grabbing me and giving me a chance out of Canesville." So I just told him, "Thank you." It's always
I was talking to somebody down at the U today, and they were making an interesting point / comment that they feel like there's a lack of perspective out here. That Miami blew the Louisville game, but most teams in college football are going to blow a game somewhere along the way, and that just happened to be the one. And then I'm looking at this comment by DeQuan Chambly. If Cignetti at Indiana had a year to change a basketball school around, there's no reason we should be in the 5th year. And then it's a what if, who are we? Well, first of all, it's 4th year. And second of all, you did win 10 games last year. And third of all, you're right in the thick of it, right now. I mean, this season is going to be is still to be written.
Well, there's also something about Cignetti that people aren't talking about. It's called continuity, right? He's brought the same coaches with him. Hell, a lot of the team from James Madison came with him. I mean, there are things that he's kept in place where Mario has had to shuffle in and shuffle out. He tried certain things, certain people didn't work out, certain coaches, certain players, so it's been an ongoing fight to try to find the right fit here in South Florida. It's might be a little easier to go to Indiana, where there aren't as much things to get into. But he was able to bring his staff. A lot of those guys have been with him for a long time. So they know each other. They were bringing guys from James Madison, where I guess that's where he coached. So he got those guys in there. So they knew his system, and now they're teaching the other guys. I mean, that's a great thing for him. And it was in a great place where, to be honest with you, probably wasn't that high on pressure at that point. Probably wasn't that high. Bring him in Indiana. They ain't gonna win nothing. 7 games, maybe 6
no
games.
pressure at all.
And he busts up with 10. I mean, that's what happened to Mark Stoops. His success is going what's going to get him fired when you win 10 games. So I'm not saying Cignetti's going to do that, but hey, he was able to get in there. He brought his own guys. Some guys came with and knew his system. It made it easier for him, and it's in Indiana. And again, he didn't have to make staff changes. He didn't bring in guys that didn't want to work. He didn't bring in guys that, got caught up in Miami, the nightlife, So, I get what you're saying, but it's a whole difference. And I'm not trying to discount anything Cignetti has done, I'm just saying it's a whole different animal here at the University of Miami in South Florida to come down here, and kid-wise too. You bringing kids in here to South Florida, man, this ain't, I pray a lot. And when I pray that thank you, Jesus, for getting me through the years at the University of Miami. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know what the hell was going on out there in them streets, man. So it is a different animal to be at the U, and it ain't just Coral Gables. Okay. Yeah. So I get what you're saying, but this has been a process for Mario, and maybe he has it right, maybe he doesn't right now, but he's getting closer. He's getting close. He's a lot closer than he was in year one to getting this thing right. I truly believe that, and I think you guys do too.
Pinellas Kane says you can't run in the A or B gap when your center's getting his ass whooped. All this center talk has got Kelvin Harris all riled up. He says that's true, Pinellas Kane, and he saw that comment, made that comment, and raced right to our lobby here to come on the show. So let's bring him on. Kelvin, you here to defend the centers of America?
Well, sort of, kind of. Oh, by the way, Gary, Dawson is outside your house, and he's gonna smack the hell out of you when you come out. I'm just letting you know.
I asked a friendly question. I asked him, does your offensive line personnel affect the way you call a game? Already knowing that the answer is absolutely yes, it does.
Yeah, well, I think he's frustrated with you guys because when I went back and looked at the game, I understand what he's talking about. They did call pin and pull plays, and they did call some stretch plays. But what's going on is teams are forcing. So Louisville's edge guys did a great job of forcing the edge and forcing the runs back into the trash. Brock Lamar's been pretty decent this year. He is a little undersized. I was surprised that Rodriguez wasn't the center this year. And SJ is going to be good. He's more athletic than Brock Lamar, obviously because we use him in fullback. But what Stanford did, that was just a fourth down play. And the reason why that hasn't been going on all year is because of the schemes. Because we using slips and scoops, pins and pulls, and he's got lateral quickness. It's just that they were in what they call a bare front, where everybody was covered, and that guy's whole sole job was to
blow up Rockabye.
Well, yeah, because it was a fourth down play, and you're not trying to give up any yardage, but you can't do that during a regular game because we're gonna destroy you.
I saw it 4 times, dog. At least 4. I saw it about 4 times, dog. Maybe 5. I'm just saying. In my film study.
I gotta go back and look. And yeah, he's not a physical run guy. He's undersized. I mean, for this day and age, he's like 6'2", 290. He's not extremely quick. He's got good technique, but yeah, he's not all right. Lamar's gonna get a kick out of what I'm saying. I mean, he's not me where he's just quicker than
Oh
people.
my God, Jesus,
oh my goodness.
What the hell?
I've been holding that one for a while. No, but seriously, I was undersized, but I was just quicker than them. And I had, and to be honest with you, Coach Smith was a great technical coach. And Mirabal is the best offensive line coach in the country. And if the funny part about it is I ain't hear none of this against Notre Dame or Florida. So it ain't like that. Looks good. It looks good for that guy, and it looks bad for him. But Stanford's defensive talent on the front line, their front four, is nowhere in the same stratosphere as Notre Dame and Florida, or even Florida State. Excuse me, or even South Florida. And we've manhandled everybody.
Yeah, and Brockmeyer had decent grades. I put him up earlier. I could throw him up here for you real quick. I mean,
I'm gonna be honest with you, Gary. I'm not a big PFF fan because
you don't like PFF.
Well, the thing about it is,
because if they would have had him having D's and F's,
Lamar is just mad because I ran better routes than him.
routes to the bathroom. That's about it. Hey, let's get into the reason why I brought you on the show, man, because I know this SMU team. You've been you have a lot of contact
Yeah,
with
I
SMU.
I sent D. Lou a message today. I said, y'all better not embarrass me.
That's what you told him?
Hey man, I've been talking a lot of noise. Come on. I'm not eating no crow this week.
You've always been a very positive Cane. I think I have you a couple times saying we were going to be 15-0.
16-0, but no, it's 15-1.
Okay,
15-1.
15-1. But SMU, what should we expect to see out of SMU?
Rhett is going to do a lot of horizontal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gary, do you know the update on Chris Johnson? I'm supposed to record my podcast segment with their guy tomorrow, but if he's hurt, that's a big problem for them.
Mm.
Because what happened was Rashard Smith became their Swiss Army knife. He learned how to run the football in the A and B gap, and he caught passes out of the backfield, and they also would spread him wide. And what they started doing is they put Chris Johnson into that role, and he actually was starting to get good at running the ball in the A and B gap. But they have some plays where they get him on the perimeter and let him use that 4.25 speed. But their offensive tackles, one of them is not better than you, Gary. So if he's hurt, ooh, man.
Yeah, I have not seen an update on him yet. We should get an injury report tomorrow at some point.
Well, the problem is they have another running back. They got a running back that transferred from UCLA. They got this other kid, Harden, and they're more like they're more like Fletcher and Shamar Brown.
Okay.
So, like,
Marty.
So if you look at their rotation, they're Fletcher and Marty Brown, and he is an accelerated version of Jordan Lyle. Well, we could handle not having Jordan Lyle those couple of weeks. Their offensive line is not dominant. They're technically good. Guerin is a very good offensive line coach, and he's making the best out of what he's got. But their offensive line, their guards, it could be a long night for them guards because the best player on their offensive line is the left tackle, Savion Byrd. He's not bad, but he ain't good enough to stop Ruben Bay or Messidor or Lightfoot.
Or Blunt.
Well, Blunt don't see it coming, but his days as a strong side defensive end are coming close to an end because D-Lou's plotting on him. He's probably gonna try and keep that weight off, but they're gonna, hey boy, get you another meal, get you another sandwich.
Now their quarterback, their whole thing, from what I've learned, is they want to try to protect their quarterback.
Yeah, and he doesn't, he can run, but he's sort of like Lamar Jackson. He doesn't want to run. If you force him to run, he can. Right. But he wants to beat you with his arm, and he's gotten a lot better. But he's a little skittish, and you saw it last year against Penn State. You get so I got to be honest. I think they're gonna come with a lot of quarterback draws early on. They they like they have to. Everybody that's playing us from now on has to do things to keep Ruben Bain from disrupting your offense. The
Frustrated.
prob the problem is he can disrupt your offense without getting sacks,
Yes.
and he can disrupt your offense in the run game as well. That's what makes him so tough because when you watch him play the run, so a lot of teams actually try and run away from him, but his technique is so good. He knows how to get down the line, and he has got a motor. So he's never blocked. He kind of reminds me of Dwight Freeney in that, you gotta block him until the whistle blows. And Messidor, what makes him tough is if you run at him, he was a defensive tackle last year. So he's got good technique. He can stand you up at the point of attack, and they both set the edge. So this last game when we lost against Louisville did some slight things. And Lamar, you haven't really talked about this. And when I go back and I look at the game, I think the sign stealing did come into play a little bit because when I watched a couple of those replays, like their adjustments were just a little bit too convenient.
Pete is the best. Pete is the
Yeah.
best.
But with all that, we still listen. Let's just keep it 100. They made 3 of the most incredible picks
Yes.
to win that game.
Yes.
I mean, one time the guy was in cover 3 and he leaves his area and jumps over the top, makes a one-handed pick, which, by the way, that should have been pass interference because when you look at the front view, the dude has got Malachi's jersey because the dude had gotten beat. So the refs
It's
don't
Tampa
call a
too.
PI. Then the last interception, the guy grabs it with 2 fingers and catches it right before it gets inches before it hits the ground and rolls over. And I was like, I told Lamar this. I said, man, we weren't intended to win this game because,
No.
man, they were making like some old He-Man type plays. But and I saw something about the ACC. I could give a damn if we go to the ACC championship.
You too, huh?
Man, Ohio State lost 2 games. They finished 4th last year in the Big Ten.
But what if you don't win the
you know
national title and then you go a whole season like this and you win nothing, Kelvin?
Listen, let me tell you something. My high school quarterback went to Ohio State. And so it was funny. They lose to Michigan. And man, he calling me all week. He gotta go. He gotta go. I'm like, Bunny, y'all 11-1. He gotta go. He gotta go. Now when he called me, all he talk undefeated. Man, he love him some Ryan Day now. So, as a coach, that's why Dawson was really getting upset with you because he knows the fans, you know what I'm saying? One day, you the greatest thing since sliced bread. And if the water ain't hot enough, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So as a coach, you tune that out. And Lamar can tell you he was a coach. He tunes you guys out.
Yeah, I don't think he wasn't really mad at the media, to be honest with you, Kelvin. He was mad. I think it was on the skin that it was such a topic everywhere. I mean, you got fans posting on Twitter, themselves making predictions on what the play is going to be, and then showing that they were right.
The worst thing that could happen for coaches is these apparatuses where guys who didn't start in JV could get on Twitter and do all of this Nick Saban type analysis. Listen, what he was telling you was correct. They were forcing the outside zone back out of the C gap back into the B gap. And there was one particular run I remember where Jordan Lyle jump cut the wrong way. He jump cut it right back into, in the words of my old O-line coach with the Rams, when we used to watch the film of Cleveland Gary, because we used to run a zone offense. And, if you read it correctly as the back, the linebacker is never right because if he goes over the top, you go underneath. Yeah. So, but Cleve, in the words of Coach Eric Barrett, God bless his soul, would run to darkness because he would run to darkness. Man, that dude would cuss Cleve out every meeting. What is he doing? The hole is over there. I mean, I swear to God, one time, Cleve, we were supposed to go to the B gap. He cut all the way back to the backside C. I mean, but no, Brock Lamar hasn't been the problem. It's just that one play was just amplified because it was fourth down, and then the way they did the replay, it made him look bad. Now, he's never going to be an overpowering blocker, but he's been effective. And if they want to stop doing solos and go to what they call duos and then go slips and scoops, that you can just nullify that because he's quick enough to get up to the second, what they call the second level. So when they call it when it's a slip or a scoop, it's a slip front side, it's a scoop back side. So like say for instance, if it's a 3 technique over the guard, him and the tackle are slipping, meaning that the tackle is giving some hand help, and depending on what the guy does, if he goes towards the tackle will take him, and then the guard goes up to the linebacker, and if not, the tackle just gives him hand help, and he goes up to the linebacker, and he takes the linebacker, and usually in the situation, it's usually in what they call the strong A gap. It's the guard in the center. So if the guy, now some teams they'll tell a guy to go in what they call inside out, which means a lot of teams in that situation they'll line him up in what they call the 2-eye, which means he's on the inside shoulder of the guard, and he's not trying to beat the guard over the top. He's got that inside gap between the guard and the center's outside shoulder, and so he's playing that gap, and it's sort of like a halfway 2 gap. I call it a 1.5 gap because he's not really trying to get over the top. He's just playing right there. And then if he can, he'll fall back, But Brock Lamar's been doing a good job. And when I see these Pro Football Focus grades, especially amongst O-line, now maybe with with receivers, Lamar, I guess you can look at but even with receivers, who's saying that they're running the right route? How do they know?
Well, it all depends on who makes the catch and who doesn't. Hey, Kevin, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So when you see a guy, and I've said this to Gary the last 2 shows, when you see a guy like Ruben Bain out there, every play, he never comes out. Like, I think, my personal opinion, I think it'd be so much better if he took a break every now and then. But he never comes out.
He's in phenomenal shape.
God damn.
He's the highest graded player in America, playing as many reps as he's playing. It's amazing.
This motherfucker never come out. Never.
Well, so me and D. Lou were talking about this. So he was 280.
D. Lewis is the defensive line coach.
Damian Lewis.
Yes.
Yeah, Damian Lewis, who was a defensive tackle. Whitby,
Kevin knows people. Kevin name drops a lot. He knows people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I tell you one name I never tell people I know, Lamar Thomas. Anyway, so D. Lou was telling me that them 2 dudes went on this thing where they started swimming 2-3 miles a day. Messidor changed his diet, so he went from 280 to he's like 262 right now. And I think last year Ruben was 285, maybe 284, and now he's 275. Because I remember Sap. Whoa.
You all right there? You didn't fall off a ledge or nothing, did you?
No, I hit the. So I remember last year, Sap would be like, man, he need to be playing 3 technique. He need to be playing 3 technique. And I think he might have heard this from a couple people. So he went on ahead and got that chicken and fish in and he lost the weight, 275. But he's the strong side end. He plays to the field, and so he'll usually be lined up against the tight end, which makes his pass rush that more impressive because there's an extra man in the way for him to get to the quarterback.
And he's touching both of them.
And let me tell you something. I'm going to text Mario. He needs to go to the refs before every game from now on and say, listen, I don't want to have to send this film into the ACC or how many times y'all missed these holding calls. Man, this guy should be filing sexual assault charges the way they're holding him. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he is. He's getting held a lot, but the thing is, he puts that hand back in the dirt, and he's still in there. I'm thinking he's gonna come
you
out
know what?
sometime.
His technique is beautiful. So he has perfected his bull rip. Some guys have a hand swat. Some guys have the traditional swim arm over. Some guys have the head fake swat move. He's got a couple of moves, but his power rip bull is, and what happens is when he goes through, because he has such a great get off, it leaves the tackles with their arm around his neck. And it's an obvious holding call.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you remember that first drive they scored on. They threw the ball in the flat to the running back to the left side. I mean, it was almost like they were on a date. And they didn't call a holding. And I know, but he has no emotion. He doesn't get upset. To your point, Lamar, he just goes right back, puts his hand in the dirt.
His mental toughness is unbelievable.
It is unbelievable to watch because I'm looking at him the whole time, going, at some point you got to come out, dog. But
you know what's crazy is he don't even be breathing hard.
He was at Florida.
He's learned how to control it. I did think he was a little gassed at Florida State.
He was at Florida State.
That's because that dude was running around like he was
chasing him around. Yes, the whole game.
Yeah, that dude was running around like he got caught shoplifting. He was trying to get out the stove. I mean, but watching him in pregame is impressive too because he goes through a full speed thing with Jason Taylor, and he has his game face on. But I just don't want us to lose sight of how good Messidor is as well.
Yes.
Right.
And listen, there's another one coming up the pipe. We got little baby JT. He has he got a lot of potential. He just can't gain any weight.
Lightfoot.
Lightfoot, yes.
And Hayden Lowe's going to be good too. I don't know. They got a tough act to follow with these two guys.
Well, the Herbert Scroggins kid played this week, and I mistook him for Hayden Lowe, and D. Lou was like, "No, that's Herbert Scroggins. He's pretty damn good too." And actually, whatchamacallit's son, Booker Pickett's son, he just got to gain some weight because he's only 240. I mean, listen, it's not going to stop after these guys graduate. We have pass rushers. And I tell you what, Justin Scott, Donta Simpson, both are looking good at defensive tackle. Now, if I were Moton, I don't know, Gary, maybe you could check on this. If I were Moton, because from what D. Lou was telling me, Moton has another year. If I were Moton, I would come back.
Oh, there's no question he's got to come back.
Yeah. But be clear, he's playing good, but he's not
playing NFL good. He's playing good.
Yeah, playing good.
He's not playing first 2 rounds NFL good. He's playing. I get drafted in the 6th, 5th, 6th, 5th to 7th
maybe
round. Yeah.
So Kelvin, so on Saturday, what do you think we'll see out of SMU as far as defensively, what they're going to try to do to us?
I'm gonna be honest with you. They're gonna have to blitz.
Mm.
Now, one of my former teammates. Oh, and this is ironic. So I played in the Canadian League 2 years when they had American teams, and 1 year was in Las Vegas. One of my teammates was a guy named Jason Medlock. His son Justin was initially committed to us when Manny was the coach, and then when Manny got fired, well, he got a bag from Utah. Well, excuse me, he got a bag and a car from Utah, and so he decided to go to Utah. That didn't work out because what they don't tell the American kids at Utah is the guys that go on the missions, they get their spot back. So he initially, he got him to, SMU. But his dad, the way his dad's career ended, it was because of one of our former teammates, Lamar. You know who that teammate was?
Ooh,
Dewey.
Dewey ended his career?
They were in Calgary. Dewey was like fourth string. The two of the guys that were in front of him got hurt. They were in the preseason. They playing Dewey. So Medlock played. He was a rush in. He's pretty good. Dewey gets Peter rolled into the man's leg and tears his ACL.
You get Peter rolled by the Rock.
He said for a whole week, Dewey would come in the training room. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Apologizing. And then, he's like, he didn't see him at the end of the week. Oh boy, the turkey came to see him and told him, hey man, we're gonna need to get that playbook from you. So they had let him go. But yeah, but Medlock's son is their speed linebacker, meaning that he would be the guy that they put in to cover the backs. He is hurt.
Mm.
And so I talked to Lil Crum, because Lil Crum is the linebackers coach, and I don't think Medlock's going to play. Their other linebackers are not as athletic. They almost as unathletic as Gary.
Mm.
So we are going to run it down their throat like this is Heather Hunter.
But okay, Gary. I mean, Kelvin. But they got the second worst pass defense in the country. Do we take an opportunity to throw against them?
Well,
I mean,
think
it's almost like they got a bunch of interceptions, but they give up a touchdown every. It's like.
Oh man, they made a couple of them Louisville type picks, and to your point, they blow coverages. But here's the problem: if you're their defensive coordinator, if you stay in base defense, which is their 4-3, and you don't blitz early on, we're gonna bloody you up. They can't stop our run in base defense. So they either have to go into a bear, which to be honest with you, if they go into bear, we're going to get some huge runs on them. Or they got to blitz and hope that they can get us to second and long. But what that does is that opens up the middle of the field for baby Jesus. I mean,
what happens when somebody takes baby Jesus away from him?
How are they going to do that?
They double him. I mean, what are you going to do? Who's going to step up and make the play? That's the question I have for you.
CJ Daniels.
Okay. All right.
But let me ask you a question. So if you were Dawson and you knew that, and once you saw that they tried to double him, why don't you put him in the slot?
I mean, you could. I mean, that's
why don't you run him in bunch? Why don't you run him in bunch in the diamond formation?
I would do that. I would put him in, and I would hide him. I would motion him across to make.
But here's the problem, Lamar. They can't do all that when you're getting bust up in the mouth by Mark Fletcher and Marty Brown. So you got a twofold problem. You worried about the little dude, but the big dude is just your liver is destroyed and your kidneys are ruptured. So it's like you might as well just let him just knock you out and get it over with. So when the offense is working, and we saw it against Florida. Remember, our offense reminds me of 1990 against FSU. I remember the game plan was supposed to be we're going to run the ball inside, and go to play action. We never got to play action. You didn't catch no passes that game because Steve kept running over my homeboy in the open field.
I caught one.
One pass. Yeah.
Kept my streak alive. Yes.
Oh, okay. Because Steve, like, this, Dawson said, Gary, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Dawson 2 weeks ago in the meeting say, okay, you want to stop our run, we'll just throw the ball.
Yes.
Oh, you want to stop our pass, we'll just run the ball.
Yes.
That's the kind of offense we
where
get.
is throwing screens in there? Because we throw a lot of screens. Is that what he's talking about throwing?
No. What he's talking about is because I guess people are trying to get on Beck, but I watched him. I like the way he plays the position because other than when we got behind at Louisville and he started trying to force the ball a little bit too much. And then when I went back on it, I said, did he really force the ball or did that guy just make a great play? Because he made a good throw. Malachi was open. The dude came up with some old He-Man type stuff on that one pick, and then the ball gets tipped.
We lost him. Or did I cut him off?
No, I don't think you cut him off. I hope you didn't cut him off. He'll probably come back.
Yeah.
But he's talking about Carson, and I wanted to ask you about that too, Lamar. Like, did he? Wait, Kelvin's back.
Yeah, the phone rang. Sorry, but the ball gets tipped on that last interception. I don't know, Lamar. I just think maybe people are being a little too critical of Carson Beck because the Georgia people are hating on him, trying to plant the seed of doubt in our head.
Well, I know
Was Shannon Dawson spooked, Kelvin? Was he spooked? It was a little bit conservative last week.
He might have been trying to protect him.
Maybe at the beginning, but to be honest with you, I think some of those, I think they have what. Did you have check with me calls when you were in Tampa?
Yes.
I think he's running some check with me's. All right, Gary, let me explain to you what check with me is.
I know what check with me's are.
Gary,
for real?
You
can go ahead. You can go ahead. I don't want to break up your rhythm.
Gary, Gary, you got to understand something. So he's being a little hard on the media guys because another media guy called him soft this week. So he's trying to take it out on you, dog. I ain't gonna let him do it.
First of all, Gary, I would never put you in the same category as Omar Kelly, a guy who
called him soft. He called him soft.
All right, hey, listen, this may come back to haunt me in court, but if I see Omar Kelly out, I'm gonna put my motherfucking hands on him. So when he goes to court and he
called him soft.
But Gary, I would never put you in the same category as a guy that used Hooked on Phonics to write his articles. So, but I like the way Carson Beck has been playing for most of the year because the quarterback position is boring when it's done right. And he is going through his progressions. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check down. And he's been basically teams have been forcing him to throw the check down, and he's been taking it, and we still getting good yards. And then they decide to try and stop the check down, and the middle of the field is open for Malachi. Now, Daniels, that drop he had, I don't know. That wasn't typical Daniels. But he is, and then you know what? He made up for it, Lamar. I mean, you got to give him credit on that. That kind of reminded me of that touchdown you had against UH in the corner.
No, it kind of reminded me of the touchdown I had against San Jose State in the corner.
Oh, yeah. No, but I think Daniels, Can you believe they didn't throw to him no touchdown passes last year at LSU? I mean,
Right.
Brian Kelly should got a fire for that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there trying to find Omar Kelly calling you soft though.
Hey,
Hey,
enough football talk for a minute. We got to solve this one issue being brought up by Panhandle Kane here. He says, Kelvin, were you better with the ladies than Lamar?
Lamar was a settled down guy at UM. He was in the hand holding back then.
The guy saw me one time. So you on campus, you had a thing, you know what I mean? You try to keep it tough secret, and he saw me one time, and
Hey, listen.
every
But
time
hold
I saw
on.
him,
Did I tell him?
no,
But
you
did I
did not.
tell anybody? Did I
But
tell
you held
anybody?
it over my head.
Well, yeah, that's what we're supposed to do.
He pretty much blackmailed me. The 3 years later, he was blackmailing me if I'm in the cafeteria, get an extra steak. Hey man, let me get that. I'm like, nah. He's like, man, boy, we holding hands today out here. Here you go, man. Here you go. Here you go. Yeah, he was one of those guys. If he got something on you, he was gonna keep it on you. But yeah,
You're damn right. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. UM was a place that built character.
Yeah.
Man, I would never forget. I tried to come to Leon Searcy's defense, and these two girls roasted my ass in the student union. Because Leon was messing with this girl, and her reputation wasn't the greatest.
Mm.
And so these two ghetto girls from, I believe from New Orleans, was talking about Leon. I was like, man, when you talk, and man, they took it to I was like, man, I had to get up and leave. I had to go regroup. Because, you can't hit a girl.
No.
And
Not supposed to.
no.
Unless he cons you out of in the pool room in the student union.
Oh, Gary, hey, I lost my weekend money one weekend I got hustled by the National Collegiate 8-ball champion. And it was a girl.
Ooh. Wow.
It was classic. I beat her, and then I don't know how something out of kind of way.
The money.
I start talking noise. He says, well, let's put $20 on it. I'm like, that's all? So we jack it up to 50. I'm feeling good about myself. Man, she cleaned me out. I learned a valuable lesson. But Gary, listen, you might want to get some security for this next press conference.
He wasn't coming after me. I wasn't the one accosting him. I'm telling you, he is upset that it has become such a sub topic, and it's not the media, it's the fans. It's everywhere you look. I mean, like I said, guys on social media are predicting his play calls and then turning their camera to the play, and they are correct. Like, people are clowning it.
Well,
he had enough. He had enough.
You know what's funny? Notre Dame obviously knew it was coming. They couldn't stop it. And Florida knew it was coming. They couldn't stop it. I mean, I do agree. Maybe I'm sure he wants to open up the playbook. But man, if Mark Fletcher can keep getting you 6 yards of carry, why would you stop?
Because when you get to the end of the year, just to play devil's advocate here, and you got to play Alabama or Notre Dame or Ohio State or Ole Miss or one of these teams, they are going to.
I'm going to say something.
They're going to have better players, and they're going to.
Gary, I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
Ohio State's front four is not even close to Florida's front four. It's not even close. Not even close. They're not better than Notre Dame's front four. Now, what they do have is a human eraser in Caleb Downs. I mean, but if we don't throw the ball, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I understand what the fans are saying. But man, sometimes Lamar, you know the saying. It ain't the X's and the O's, Gary. It's the Jimmys and the Joes. And let me run this down to you right quick. He's not 325. He's 340. 6'9", 340. 6'6", 325. 6'6", 340. 6'6", 335. And then you got the 6'2", 290-pound center. This is by far the biggest offensive line we've ever had. And there's 3 draft picks on it in this next year's draft. One of them's going to be a top 10 pick. And they're better than everybody. I mean, I get the PTSD. I mean, we've dropped the ball. Especially after last year, I get the PTSD. Let me tell you something, man. I have to talk Manny Navarro off the ledge every week. He's about as it's almost like
next to him upstairs. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, it's like all you guys have come in and saw your girlfriend cheating on you with your cousin or something. It's like y'all can't accept success. Enjoy it, Gary.
I think everyone's panicked that it's gonna come.
There's no margin for error. There's no.
I will say I will agree. I will agree with you on that because but I'm gonna say this though, Lamar. If you've watched SEC football this year, all right, let's go over the numbers.
They can have a 2-loss.
Oh, I agree.
They can have 2 losses.
But let's go over the numbers.
They can get away with a lot more in that league.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Let's go over the numbers. So, starting with the Big Ten, Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon are locks. Nobody else in the Big Ten is making it.
No.
All right, let's go to the SEC. Georgia, Alabama, Texas A&M right now, maybe Tennessee. I'm not buying Vanderbilt. They're going to lose again. I'm not buying Missouri. They're going to lose again. But they are going to get 4 teams between Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Missouri. One of them is going to get the 4th spot. So that's 7. Okay. All right. BYU is 8. The group of 5, which looks like it's going to be Memphis now, is 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got us, Georgia Tech, Virginia.
Louisville. Don't rule out Louisville.
I would take Louisville over Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia's going to probably lose. They almost lost last week.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what's going to hurt Virginia because they technically have a conference loss. I don't understand. Maybe you could explain it. Why that loss to NC State doesn't count.
Because they play that as they play it as an out of conference game in years where NC State is not on their schedule for the ACC.
All right,
it's weird, but that's what they do.
Okay, so if Virginia, see, this is the problem Virginia has. If they go to the ACC championship game and lose, they're not getting in because they got 2 losses. One of them to an NC State team that gave up like 200 points this week, and we're probably gonna put up another 200 on them. So you lost to a team that is trash on defense. You know, it's gonna have about 5 losses, and they're probably going to either fire their coach or he's going to retire.
Yeah, but they also got to go at California, Wake Forest, at Duke. I would bet they lose one of those 3, at least.
I agree. And to be honest with you, who does Georgia Tech have left?
They not much. They got let me see here. They got
they'll be all right.
Yeah, they got this weekend they're at NC State, which could be tricky. A night game at NC State. It's Saturday. Then they go at Boston College. That shouldn't be a problem. They play Pitt at home.
Ooh.
That'll be a tricky one. They play Pitt at home the week before we go to Pitt.
Yeah. Pitt is the most dangerous team for us in Georgia Tech because Hensel at quarterback, he is looking good, but he kind of hurt his arm. Desmond Reed, or is it Desmond Reed? Is that his last name, Reed?
Yeah.
The running back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is their explosive play guy, and they got a decent defensive front four. I'm going to say this. Their front four is better than Ohio State's front four.
And let me tell you something, Kelvin. They're 4-1, and they play both. Miami and Georgia Tech. I mean, Pitt controls its destiny, man. If they can win these games, they're going to be in Charlotte.
I know this is going to sound bad to the fans because, our fan base really wants us to win an ACC. I hope to God we don't have to go to that ACC championship game.
Never win the ACC.
Okay. So
Never win it.
Let me ask you this. Is it a loss if we go to the ACC championship and we lose? Okay. I'm just saying. Is it a lost season if we go to the ACC championship and we lose and we don't make the playoffs? Or is it a loss if we go to the national championship and we lose? I'm just saying.
Oh,
Which
I
one
take
is
the
more
second.
success?
I
Which
take
one is
the
the more
second.
successful season?
The second one easily.
I'm
Not
just
even
saying.
close.
I'm just saying. I just
But
want to make sure.
I'm going to say this here. It can get tricky, but the problem now that the committees are going to run into is how fair is it to penalize a team for losing in the conference championship game when that was supposed to be the goal to play for the conference championship.
Yeah.
I think it'll depend who the two teams are, but if you have two one-loss teams in that game, I think the loser will still make the playoff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say this, Gary and Lamar.
Depending on who the odd man out is.
I'm going to tell you, one of the things that is going for us is if you looked at our viewership numbers, ESPN is greedy. We are a draw.
Yeah.
And we have a player that two players that everybody wants to see play. Baby Jesus and Super Bane. So we have must-see TV. Now, I saw somebody complain about, Georgia Tech or somebody playing in the first round. And it's like, okay, is this to see who the national champion is, or is this just for TV entertainment? Now, I'm sure the schools are going to tell you it's for national championship. Now, ESPN is probably trying to straddle the fence, have national championship and, great TV. But when you get to the playoffs, it's the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? That's just like in the NFL. You have some dud years, but it's the playoffs.
It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. There's some good games in the ACC down the stretch here.
Yeah.
With Pitt in the middle of the action, Louisville, Miami, obviously Georgia Tech. Virginia, I refuse to put Virginia.
I'm not sold on Virginia either.
No.
Now, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna be a very interesting game. Georgia Tech and Georgia. What happens if Georgia Tech beats Georgia?
They last year.
Listen, that call on Haynes King, that should have been targeting, and that would have been the ball game.
Yep, they had the game won. They should have won it.
I'm gonna say this. I know you got Nick Saban on ESPN now on game day, and the viewers they're catering to the viewers, but the SEC's dominance is over. It's over. Stick a fork in them, because let's look at the SEC: Georgia, Alabama, A&M. The best team in the SEC right now is Texas A&M, but Texas A&M has never put a ring on their finger. They've always been a bridesmaid. So no one really truly has confidence that they can get it done. Georgia, their quarterback is going to lose them a game. Their
Hey, man.
defense is
I ain't trying to cut you off, but I got kids to take care of. I got to eat. You got to go home. I mean, you come on,
hey,
man. We can continue this another time. I thank you for coming on the show, dog. You
hey,
my
no,
guy.
To be continued. We got a long month ahead of us here.
hey, hold on. I'm gonna send you my cash app.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, sweet ass, and we're gonna get you back on because you are very entertaining. But I got to eat.
Oh yeah,
we got a lot to talk about this next
Yes.
month. You'll come
Yes.
back.
yeah,
you, sweet.
Gary. Hey, Dawson told me he gonna grab that toupee off your head if you talk to him bad like that again.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me. I served him a softball.
Hey man, he was pissed at y'all.
No, he was. He was. He's not mad at the media. It's not the media. He's mad at the subject. Just everywhere, questioning his running scheme, and but you made a good point, man. Like this Brockermeyer thing that has now come up. People and Lamar said it right, man. People are going to copycat that, and he's going to have to adjust, and I think he will. I would almost bet
we got the best O-line coach in the country. We'll be fine. In the words of Al Davis, just win, baby.
That's right.
Just win.
All right, Kelvin. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Kelvin.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Gary.
All right, man. We'll see you next time. He's like the ever ready buddy, man. He goes from subject to subject.
And he will. He could go.
All night.
He'll go all night if you let him. He'll just go from subject to subject. That's how he is on the phone, bro.
I know.
He'll just start changing the subject. I'm like, bro, I got to go, man. I got to go. But he's a great character.
I want to get back into it because there were a few things that we still need to cover here. Malachi Toney, man. Yeah. I mean, baby Jesus, whatever you want to call him, he's something else. I mean, Lamar, his feet. I mean, you don't see that, okay? His ability to change directions as quickly as he does. I mean, that kid's got special skills that you don't see very often.
Yeah, I mean, he's for a young guy, what he's been able to do so far, and another thing that he was able to throw in the game last Saturday or when did we play? Thursday? I don't even know no more. For last Friday. Was it Thursday? When the hell did we play? Anyway, in the Stanford game, the special teams, the return, they finally called, talking to the special team coach, DK. He was like, finally, we were able to not go punt safe and get this kid running. And, he is dynamic, even in the return game. So he is a special, special player. But what I'm worried about is someone taking him away. Someone taking. So I'm always saying, who's going to be the next guy to step up if they're able to take him away, not punt the ball to him, double him on offense. Yeah, you got to move him around. We'll see if our coordinator, if he can use his imagination to be able to disguise him and put him in certain
he has so far. He's done Shannon Dawson has done a great job scheming it up for Malachi Toney.
Yeah.
You you may not like his running game scheme, but he has done a great job drawing it up for Malachi.
He threw a touchdown. I like that. Yeah, someone said baby Jesus threw a touchdown this week. I mean, the guy can do that, and that was a hell of a throw. Holy shit, he threw it where only the guy was gonna catch it.
Hey man, if you're an athlete, you're an athlete. But let me ask you a question. Okay. We're watching coaches getting fired left and right. Mm-hmm. I think the buyouts are up to like 150 million, and we still got a month of the season left. I mean, it's insane the money that's being thrown around to get rid of coaches, whatever. I'm watching this, Frank Reich, the Stanford coach, and in the first half, they didn't punt to Malachi Toney. They punted the ball away from him. It's 7-7. They come out in the third quarter twice in a row. They punt the ball right down the middle of the field, to Malachi Toney.
Yeah. You might want to check. You might want to check his buyout.
He's trying to get fired.
You want to check his buyout.
How stupid was that?
That was not once, but twice.
He did it twice, and it totally turned the game.
It's true.
Unbelievable.
You might want to check his buyout, Gary. Check his buyout.
Let me go to my next case here. All right. So if I said to you in August that we are going to be 8 weeks into the season
Mhm.
And Miami will have basically gotten nothing from JoJo Trader,
Mhm.
nothing from Elijah Lofton,
Mhm.
and close to nothing from Jordan Lyle. You would have institutionalized me.
Yeah, I would have been like, well, who stepped up?
Who's going
What
to make the
happened?
damn
Yeah,
plays?
yeah.
Now, Baby Jesus certainly has
Baby
made up
Jesus.
for a lot of that, and CJ Daniels has stepped
Yeah.
up and
You
made
got
a lot of
Tony.
plays.
You got my homeboy Tony Johnson stepped up
I was just
from
going to get
Ocala,
yeah,
Florida.
yeah.
From Ocala,
You read my mind.
from
Tony
Ocala,
Johnson.
Florida, 2nd Street. Grew up right down the street from where I grew up from. I mean, we 4 doors down, baby. 2nd Street, baby. Yeah, there he is.
There it is.
If you know, you know. My best friend growing up name was Maurice Wallace, and he had a sister named Diane, who had a child named Tiffany, Tiffany is his mama. So there it is. And I mean, they're all on 2nd Street. So that was great to see him. Got to talk to him after the game. We exchanged numbers, and we're gonna keep in touch, man. He seems like a great kid. I'm glad he got an opportunity to show what he could do. He had some good blocks for Malachi on some of the screens, and he was able to catch a couple passes where he showed some he was elusive. I mean, he did a spin move. I mean, he put up maybe like 18, 20 yards on one of those screen passes. So it was good to see him get out there and do his thing, coming from Cincinnati and getting the opportunity to play at the University of Miami. That was good stuff.
So that was his integration. I mean, it was obvious. Like,
Yes.
they went into the game, we are going to get Tony Johnson going.
Mhm.
He comes here in the transfer portal from Cincinnati. You can put him on that same list. He was really not contributing at all.
Mhm.
Great kid, like you said, doing the right things week after week after week in practice. Shannon Dawson clearly came into the game with the idea of, I am going to get Tony Johnson involved this week. They put him out on the field. He made plays. I still think there's got to be more. Okay, so who's the next guy to step up, Lamar? Does
Josh.
Lofton get his act back together? Does JoJo make a
Lofton has to get his act together at some point. He has to get the ball. He's too special of a talent. And then JoJo and Joshua Trader. They all, I mean, it's only one football go around, but hey, man, this is going to be a long season. We must have these guys contribute in a positive way for us to truly be successful, because again, you can't make a living in this long season just throwing it to one guy. They're going to eventually get smart enough and take him away.
And you're going to play better teams.
Yes. They're going to say, hey, we're going to put our best guy on him, and we're going to even put another best guy on him, and good luck, and let's see what happens. And you're going to have to be forced to say, we got the numbers over here. Let's let these other guys eat. And hopefully that's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching this Pitt team get better each week. They are progressively getting better. Miami's hit a lull here and stopped getting better. Hopefully, they are going to get back to that starting Saturday. Pitt's getting better every week, and they're going to be I don't want to get crazy here, but that's not going to be a layup that last week of the season.
Here's the thing, Gary. You know how you said going back from Florida State to the first half that we were like in a lull? Well, guess what? We had 2 great quarters. So we're gonna carry that into SMU.
Hopefully that's a
it's
building
gonna
block.
be a carryover, Gary. I know it.
It's got to be, man. It's got to be. This team has got to accomplish something.
Yes.
This team is built to get Miami back into that elite level of college football.
Yes.
I mean, this team is built. They got to get it done. Everybody's got to be rock solid. The players and the coaches.
No room for error.
None.
Got to do it.
Whatsoever. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out Saturday. I'm not sure, because of their injury problems, that SMU is the same level of threat that we might have thought they were going to be a few weeks ago. But Rhett Lashley can dial it up. He's a very good coach, and you got to go up there and ready with your A game. No doubt about it. All right, LT, let's bring this thing home with some word association, because you got some kids to put to sleep. Let's start with Carson Beck.
Carson, this is an opportunity for you to manage a game in a big game. This is a huge game for the University of Miami, so it's a great opportunity for you to, again, manage the game. Don't try to win it unless they force you to, but just do, what you were doing in the beginning of the season. Try to play a clean game. Try to keep the ball, the footballs in our guys' hand, not the other team's hand, and you should be fine. But it has to be not you trying to force it and make plays. Let the scheme, the schematics of it. If we're running the ball well, you do a great job when it's play action, making the throws. And if we're throwing the screens, that's opening up some other things, and maybe we might even see some screen plays here and there. So who knows?
Yeah.
I'm talking about running back screens. I
Running
ain't
back
talking about
screens.
wide
Yeah, I don't know that we've
screens.
seen one of those
Yeah,
this year. Maybe one.
traditional running
Yeah.
back screens.
I thought he was trying to win the Heisman against Louisville, and it
But that's over.
backfired.
Let's not worry about that anymore.
He was much more under control against Stanford,
Yes.
both by design of the coordinator,
Yes.
I felt, and also maybe a little bit like you pointed out, Lamar, where even when he had a few opportunities, he stuck with the play call and ran the ball. Maybe the whole Heisman thing being out the window, which it is, he's not coming back winning the Heisman. Maybe that being out the window is kind of like a relaxant for Carson Beck.
Well, I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so. The most important thing, the more games you win and the more games you're able to play, it's going to give people more opportunities, scouts more opportunities to see you. So I think that should be the focus right now. Going up there, being in the Heisman ceremony, that's great, but you want to be able to do it if you're winning.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and look, this kid's playing under a lot of pressure. I mean, this is money. This is money year for him. I know he's making a lot of money, but he's trying to, take the next step into the NFL, and maybe he got caught up a little bit. But hopefully now he turns it around and finishes off the season strong. All right, we've already talked about him a lot, but I have him on my list, so I'll mention it anyway. Malachi Tony.
Man, I mean, what I got a chance to say hello to his mother, and I said his son is special. I mean, I know she probably looking at me like, I know, but the kid is he's a special talent. He truly is a special talent, and it's been a joy to watch this season, and hopefully it continues. And like someone said, his NIL check could be. It could be very nice. It could be
starting next year.
very nice next year.
And people are worried about him leaving Miami. Miami's going to get out ahead of that one. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'm hoping that, but he needs to continue to do as he's done this whole year. Be early, leave late, be attentive, know everything, get on the same page as that quarterback, and be his safety net. So keep doing it.
Rhett Lashley.
Rhett, I'm still kind of mad at Rhett when he was here, when he was throwing the ball to those guys and they were breaking all those records. That one guy that broke the record, I can't think of his name.
Mike Harley?
Yeah, Mike Harley. He threw like 18 balls a game. Like, what just to break a record? I mean, that's some bullshit, man. Come on. So I'm still a little mad at Rhett for that, for doing that to me. But what a great offensive mind. It's kind of like not as accomplished as Jeff Braun, but kind of in that same mode of a guy that can out scheme people and use the speed of his players to use it to his advantage, because they always have great speed. But a good coach, a really good coach. I was happy to see him get the job, and a great person to talk to. But you got to go down, dog. You got to go down at 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. You got to go down in Dallas, dog. We can't let you win this, bro. You're a good coach.
They're talking about him getting the Arkansas job. Not on our back. Not on our back, Red.
Not on our back, dog. Not on our back.
All right, let's finish it off with Mario Cristobal.
Hey, he already knows that this game is very important to this year. I mean, this is one of the games that can get you over the hump. Because, I'm sure everyone that's outside of us, and even some people inside of us, are saying that, they're a little nervous. Well, you know what? It's all because of that Louisville game, and it's all because of those quarters that we haven't been able to be successful. So hopefully we can have one game, and this will be a great game to do it. Put 4 quarters together on the road in a big game, and now you put everybody to rest, and they'll be like, man, you know what? Miami is truly on to something.
Get that bowling ball going down the
yes.
middle again. Yeah.
There you go. Correct. So I think he knows that, and by watching all those press conferences, I think he understands that what this game means to this program.
All right, LT. We got to thank Bryant, McKinnie, and thank Kelvin Harris for joining us tonight. We got to thank CaneSport for once again sponsoring the Lamar Thomas Show. And again, go by their store at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, or go to CaneSport.com. Check out all their Canes gear. You will not be sorry. They got everything. And we got to thank all you guys for watching once again. So
and staying in there, hanging in there with Kelvin Harris too is too late, man. So we appreciate you guys still being. We got to cut that guy off. We got to get him early in the show and get him out of there. But he is entertaining. But thank you guys for staying around. And I need to go to sleep.
All right, well, we're off to Dallas. I'll see you up there, LT, and
yes,
we'll see what happens in the next chapter of this season. For Lamar, I'm Gary. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
Go Canes.